Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. All together will be good day. How's everybody doing? I hope say yes. So I don't mean I have here Pastor Esther, all about our trust and Pastor Esther Arthur. So we are going to be discussing child abuse. And what are some of the things that needs to take place as parents, because you know what, let me just not share my opinion in the beginning. I will save it for later. So Pastor Esther, welcome.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
Apa mo te saying?
Pacho nyame adom boko.
Mhm. Na te say ene program ayeye no me da se say wenya emre ama me no aba ni ebedi ho komo, because video na che say wo send bra me amehwe ye no makoma efi enra anajo te say me then I was bothered with that. But to say just to I'm just going to summarize, some of the things that I observe. I'm not going to play the video here because that's not why we just here to discuss about the contents of the video. So the video about child abuse is about a mother who subjected her two children, her two boys, to the father sexually abusing them for months and years. She has two boys. The oldest boy just turned 3 years old. The youngest boy is 8 months old. The oldest boy was molested by the dad from 7 months up to 3 years. And then the youngest son was molested from 4 months up to 8 months. Now, the mother explained she went to this radio place, like Ghana TV One and or something. But I know Ghana TV one of them, the lady came and talked about it. But the mother explained some of the things that happened, the incident. The father drives. Sometimes he will go away for 2 weeks or a month, and the kids will be fine. They will not have any bruises or any tear in their anus. And like she said, she first observed that on their first son, because she was a new mother. She will see sperms. I mean, being a new mother or not, when you sperm is sperm, so it's coming from somewhere. And if it has sperm, she will see blood in her son's diaper. And at some point, she went to the hospital to get her son evaluated, and the doctors informed her that her child has been has been molested. And she told her own mother. Her mother did not believe her, and her mother tried to silence her, to tell her that she does not believe the husband would do that. She questioned her husband. Her husband said that he did not do it, and so forth. But there was a couple incidents. She observed the father caressing the 3-year-old boy for 10 minutes, and she did before she woke up and asked the husband what he was doing. And then it happens to the youngest boy. So I am so concerned in so many areas with the mother's action. And then the father, there's a lot of things wrong. The doctors, they are respond to after finding that out, because in America, Esther, you and I know, if something like this take place, the doctors will call the police.
Yes.
They will report this to the police for something to take place. But that did not happen in this case. And it bothers me that these two young children innocent children were subjected to this type of abuse, whereas a grown man will insert his penis in their butthole. Like, how can this happen? And how is the mother justifying that with everything that happened without her family support? She didn't have anyone to take care of her. So she stayed, and she kept calling her husband sweetie because she's a wedded wife. Who cares about being wedded on like what are your thoughts in that? So
I say you can brother na you can tree.
yeah, the meaning is right. Went to the Ghana.
Ghana, someone said, oh, some red bra. I said, near me boy, because they say we are seeing
No, correct.
like, the Ghana that we know before, no. And yet, sanity here.
No, correct.
And yes, sanity here. Ain't and you maybe one, I say you put it in place. Also, and yet only this, but also the 13-year-old girl now, Obi Smart, Nana.
Rape, no,
13-year-old girl on Yemono. And it's about time as our phone. Ye try your man say, one of my bontin no be frozen or small menko, or be through a menko.
Yeah.
Mobi from because I plan now with him. A branch and oh baby.
Not James who when it to them.
Not just so when it say, oh, yeah, my uncle said a gun, it will be your uncle, be your auntie, or be your sister near the end.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, no. Why yet what damage you plan?
Oh, but definitely.
Yes, but back to the discussing. In fact, me and Kasame share video.
No, for back up a little bit. In terms of, because you said something really important about teach, yeah, you say you bet your ma say nipa so your ma dream say where your one and see a ma stranger.
Yes, yes, yes.
Neighbor. Stranger could be a family friend. America has said, no, that's something that they educate their children with.
Yeah.
Not man no baby obi beso and say obi suma wa na say o jinane pon ano a men go close. One side the first baby you are protected. But in Ghana no yetimi awofo ni bi timi ma omuma di aduane koma ebi a papa bi o plenty efie ewo compound ho. And I say, oh, for back I mean, some of the parents they are not well educated in terms of that. And Ghana, we have a lot of rapers, a lot of molesters, a lot of pedophiles, and men and they are pedophiles. But it's not yemma. Say, even in school, crampo no. They don't teach all that, right? If you say I will only be one mom can say, okay, so which trend you may be a bema crana sentence. Mammy ban say, me ban knowledge in say me quote me to me quote obi them say nipa no cry and back one. And you can say because sir a man na de na money na you need and fan who and map. So adeɛ bi a ɛho hia nti no na mepɛ sɛ me call back to that nti no fast forward.
I see I try your man because I remember saying I maybe I'm my grandmother tea. Now say Ghana I know me right.
Yes.
It used to annoy me those kind of words. And I remember say one night be near a store na na me kwa na me kofi. And papa idi mechi megire e wa no metia no me dan metia no say papa wo di metia kwa hiva o yire na wan esu wo di metia yire no wo di metia kwa hiva sign let this be the first and last time you call me that name. Don't call me that name again. Papa kasa mo bi no the free crown so on say ye on said the distance yen church your money saying now and if I no be quiet it is too far. No, but yeah, no, Yeah, yes, so open mind. Again, what would you okay? I won't say no, they won't need him.
No correct.
Oh, no, what why do you fit a pure motive say? Nipani, but at that point, the baby things are. As some ways, at a minana that would dimmer of your aqua. Who dimmer until the material was made a one of its sister. No man is sign.
No correct.
Now the way I met Siamonos on was sign ye. Well, you know, yen tray your mano, Sanya Maniama wing.
Yeah.
And I may co worker be in the age, man. No, was stepfather. Or send my make catch any stepfather and plane, or friend is stepfather and a colanas and also. And also, don't let me ever see you say, Obe and time a banny room with that. So, what ye be bomb a banner door, no father could in him row.
No
Or
correct.
bathroom, man call and so.
No correct.
And castle or your stepchild. Some may be see that was Madame Funny say, or your Spanish ni. Was it what now? If on any stepfather, if you not even a single time, and if the stepfather enter the room with that, into the stepfather
It's inappropriate
because no man, no certain rules. I'm on the stepfather who say, "Oh, me tolerate that nonsense." No,
that's a good
one catch and say, "Mom, me not an answer." And to say, "You know your uncle, no one got an answer, no one got for you, we know so more, or your uncle, any diagro." Ah, then sorry, I need no manners.
Oh yes.
Money, that's your tray, man. Or your uncle, or your day young. Any quite all your day, or allow no your day, or better now when I so.
No correct.
Or better so, or be winning now the other day, as a chrom.
No correct.
Because I am an uncle, your uncle, Ube one no day. What to a plan him on, no, I reap for a plan. Nothing why they that damage and planning life. Ain't you know education, a here pa because Miss Antamine, when I tell me, cause CYO. Now you see why you lead a different Mr. Yancy. Or church as any money, and it's not me stop paper panel. Well, one church as any money now. How far can a person go? Well, TSC, you must an educated your man. No, my young giant man won't say, parents, no, a sacrifice. And you know, I see right back to your video, yeah, we actually about be discussing once a week.
No correct.
Or be a what's the promo out the Clark Hospital, yeah, but Fran Shannon, they will say, BBI, you okay, Anna?
No bruises, nothing.
Yes, no bruises, nothing. It's a woman, you know, one will say, BB say, Koso or Bano. Netwa papa. First of all, akra no ko babysitter bia obi a babysitter. Woni kunu na wo. Enti say nya wona waye a, na say wo kunu na aye.
No correct.
Enti say wo nim say nya wona waye. Na wo kunu ne kasa wona nya wona na waye, say ye ghost bi na be fi wa na.
Ebem say ni ancestry ni say
you know,
let me restrain myself today.
You see, at the end of the day, no, and you ghost bi na but I believe set my no power here no. But are you so focused about our arena at that moment, say, or feel say, we're worried, you know, or Jaya and Crawford can want something because the thing is obvious. Because Dr. Nibusan said, if one nation, but no say papa, no, papa, no.
No correct.
On for be on fanning cobebia. It's one if papa and Kwana, papa, no, Kwane, no, not be say, I colana. And you have the question on next door neighbor because the next door neighbor, when you're the
yeah.
At once, when I saw you, who take action.
No correct.
But doctors funny a mistake because doctor no say Ghana say or why you need Sunday money na. And then you can say doctor no who that report they say we I then SC no. Then you can say doctors ne allow no.
No plan is
follow up no more yede. No press charges against the man because at the end of the day no man you want so any opportunity and they caught the second child this one. Just 4 months old baby. Well, you know,
yeah, I mean, they Sister Aisha said, this is Aisha Ankra said, the man is an animal and beyond animal. So he said he's an evil man and like wicked. I mean,
he needs to be hanged.
He needs to. I mean, he said like, I mean, and Pastor Esther, to tell you the truth, just listening, watching the video, like I am so bothered by it. So, I mean, to say, yeah, step it back a little bit. To say you move for, you move a brave, our rear, I say, and only a day call heaven. te sɛ sɛ wote awareɛ wei sei mu na sɛ bɛrima a wɔne ne te wɔno deɛ ɔse tɔnga no wɔmpɛ because ayɛ a ɔbaa ne saa ɛka sɛ wɔware bɛrima no na ebi wɔ hɔ ɔmo ɛbɛda a na bɛrima no ɛde ne bɛrima no ɛkɔhyɛ ne to obusan sɛ na deɛ na woyɛ na bɛrima no abusan sɛ adɛ wompɛ saa wɔsi daabi ansa na ɔde abɛhyɛ baabi ɛyɛ sɛ ɔde hyɛ enti no te sɛ the fact is say ne yere na ama no kwan mfitiaseɛ no na mowu ye na se wo oba baby kro kan kra kuma na mse oba we say wo hia some weapon say o yi ne ba ne diaper no hu sperm but esan say woye maame foforo na afi no wawo no what does that have to do with that? Sperm is sperm.
Yeah, I mean,
enti no say wo first child no ni ade na akora no produce sperm nko ne to so akora no kra yem fa ne say akora no na produce sa ade na ebewo ne be ma na ni enti no for her to say something like that, no, I just feel say she was just saying certain things, to make it seem that she did her best, but her best was not good enough because she subjected her children to this molestation for months and years. I mean, look at the 3-year-old boy. He is a handsome boy, but he's going to be traumatized forever. And he went on and said, ne ba no nya atre no obeka tin se mami daddy de ne kwati ahye sebi daddy de ne kwati ahye meto asem o ka se ne ba ne se ya san kwa men ka sa asem ni biem. What do you mean?
Wow, Ghana, there we go again.
What do you mean say ma won ka sa asem no wo suspect se papa ni ye bibi na se akora na nka sa se wa hu kwasa no atena no se ne papa de ne be ma ahye ne to a was more asem no. Not just a 1 year ready say we be take any action. As of right now, we talk, the father has disappeared. He's nowhere to be found. And then he also expressed that one time occurs when the mammy baby no. Na mammy has on concon in the okuno. You be ya kwanya di ni maneto.
But I once say, as some of my many cast among Casana Ghana no sunny at here. Obi ababe complain so obi a repono no o ma me second one tum
No correct
o sister second one tum men kwa asem we and to nipa ne so
yes.
So me to
Rather,
the point you be jai sa niema ne ye
no correct
obi aka something say nkrofo bebre wo Ghana nkrofo abuse wo mamonka asa ne me because o kan ye de ye nyini wo kape wo yakula boni wo person gu uncle na anima say wo person gu auntie na anima say wo person gu sister warrior wo person gu we ya warrior and those kind of motive na ye de e wo ye trimu no akula ketu atimi abie na no wo so wo evidence wo mu sa ne man nyina say on kana no to mo nka sa asem no na akula amon kwa na mo ne te won ko ba bia eye den no ko te sa asem we
no correct
papa aye den aye ni say we had the cast asem way I had a defending is a monk cast asem no. Not just a one from the get go now. We're now one open, but in get the well being of the children now we had the open. Now why was share no more wedding or more wedding pictures a year near the one where Christopher, yeah, Baba Waria, yeah, mom pie. Wow, when devil incarnate fan or tears or them, what was she and I free? One mom pie musani panisu. Said the nipa ne city na nyame ayi atro sa branch a wo koi ejam enten nya nyame na dowa enta wore na wo koi because odi na ti ko ba bi obekona ko beku nso amba.
Most definitely. I mean, the thing is say what to me be mani TBB na no can say one time be me can say na nie nkwa ha say no na anka ne me koy anka me kwa akuku na che say wutimi say I mean Bema no he obi wo ho no ma yes so na adwin nya na so wo yare obi won so onyare eye tantani evil spirit be a allowed to come into him and also no one kasa ni padua no ene ni tirim adwinsum and I say be a we obi a eto na ye ne de na to say ene akopɛ obi a wani na ne interaction no na 4 months old child one kasa wo ba bema na wutimi di wo bema sheneto. I mean, how wicked can a person be to molest your own child? And then 3-year-old, you know, for the past 2 months, 2 years, 3 months, you know, right?
Yeah.
And I said, no, 2 years, 5 months, no. Wafa akola yi to na wo ma mi nso hwensem ho aka kire me say you nkura ne diaper na hu say sperms ana say nya sperms ana moja ka moja ne wa nkura ne to na nkura ne to papa no ekoye adwuma 2 weeks 1 month no ma ya nkura ne to your okay papa ne nya ba fie pe na asem aba. I mean, na wo ma mi nji wunni a, who cares about wo ma mi nji wunni? You are a mother, you're supposed to protect your children. You know, as a father, parents supposed to protect our children. But so what won't and you fail to protect your child. I don't even think say for me, you know, I feel say the 2 children should be removed from the mother's care. Because God knows if she meets with another man, it becomes chronic. And that other men also have this type of mentality now. God knows what else is going to happen to these children. This is a traumatic event for both children. You know, the youngest one is 8 months now. Even though he's little, something is bound to give. It's going to affect his life for the rest of his life. And you notice, like, and you might be saying, I mean, what can we tell as parents? What advice can we give to ourselves? I mean, if you are unfit to take care of your child now, then you shouldn't be having children in the first place, because she failed as a mother to her children. You know. Sister Aisha Ankara said doctors and nurses own duty of care of those within the foreseeable areas of rest. Most definitely. And earlier she said the doctors neglected the child by not calling the police.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. And then Sister Aisha Ankara said the doctor must stop practicing because physicians have a legal duty.
Yeah.
Definitely, they all needs to be held responsible at some point. Sister Yakura Imwakwaba Apomu ete saying, I hope say yes to Adimini Shira my dear Perry Chris, welcome. So I mean to say my stomach it has been turning from yesterday because I just can't grasp how a mother can allow this to go on for not months but years with the oldest boy.
Oh, so sister, you are gone and all say, Chroma say, okay, hospital, or more things already set in place. And at this time, no, I say, Ghana, no, we have to have those things in place because I had now the clinical hospital and doctor never face social worker right there.
Oh yeah,
I want the better police amount. I want my accommodation, baby, all these things will be arranged. It is about time I say Ghana, no, yes, well, hospital because I believe the doctor no one afraid because at the end of the day no all kako free ain't fan am mean in the be oba beda ain't fan the baba beji natina and yet we don't have all these things in place but it's a Ghana war 64 years parliament 41 ministers been more to one no more skikana na be more wasting no more dey niema ense and then the emphata and all these things no needs to be in place. Wow. I see a doctors, but a collabo hospital, Mumu, ya. I said, Mama, my minute now, no more than more free police. Croman came, so that free papano. So one hospital, one shady.
No crap.
Ghana, any Sani in place at this modern age, at this century, we don't have all these things. And yet, most of them doesn't have the training, say. Or more education on this say Obana so almost a be wrong and then and I will crime ben over faso. Say Namiandum, Yansha radio stations near the so even if the hospital proper near more free radio station near the and Crawford are willing to contribute to help.
No crap.
Wow, ain't no proper education. No one setting up a committee, a hospital, follow up. I was money so that parents will not be subjected to that.
Most
At the end of the day,
definitely.
no one is car. And it's had money in our dream. Make a cocaine fan of a name beda. Meet me name bank got an abonting. And you better now was any idea. Ya because will be anyone mobile boy. And I wish I get on the mamma. Get on the mamma for you to have security, not just all you'll be out your work to do. Not just
Yes.
also my men or get on the mamma. Nipa bonny some the vote in wickedness.
Yeah, I mean, she rejected him. She rejected her and her grandchildren from the get-go. And you asked her to come, and then you switch off your phone, and you told the security not to allow your own sister to come into the house. I mean, how can you condone in such things? I mean, the enablers. I really dislike enablers. And your society community, no, Ghana for you move brave. We enable certain behavior until say, I didn't say no. That yeah, we want to do something about it. We can't do that. We can't continue to do that. We're in the 21st century, for God's sake. Why should we have some people and some mothers be allowed, or some fathers be allowed to subject their children to this kind of abuse? I mean, to say, Papa, no, when I'm born again, now 7 months old, with me, 7 months old to up to 3 years.
Yeah.
4 months old, what fan it to up to 8 months. A dear pa, when I'm a corner bell. I mean, to say, na mammy no, so me for some mammy no, what fan it cooking. But send you no can, they say, or catch red, papa, they say, one of the only no drink cranny to a. One jam cranny to the no only one no to. Obi our done a swa one in no, have a session. And what happened to free moody minicako fan could to ye and a bear mahu, a tin could to the betale or in the reno eto art, say, or barbe and tan or barney, see or busan, say, auntie Tess, and not just a one hour young colani saying, I don't even, I think, say, I all make a yamano, no, I can maybe Eddie saying himself. Mona Mubeya, who cares about that? But in Klana, almost subjected into them into this molestation, this pedophile. He belongs in jail. I mean, to say, your country be Arab one baby, yeah. The way a bema now could repu, who could repu be a near child bear markne. It sounds say, will bear my name see when you know. So obi wo ha wo kan won se wo ya adwenbone nipa we say no, they don't deserve to even have that to enjoy themselves.
One say your chrome and yes, she any idea, and internet massa name and in our way, because at the end of the day, no, obi a bibina cocan, your becas all yakola, come to moyakola bonnie, then the pana fan and wordy. It was fun and wordy a punishment in Bia Anya day, and Barman, of course, of the Beko before Frosso, or Beko catcher and down for Biso. And si nipa so say na bone na spread you because of say yen put one end to it yen set example nitin na ekoso and then wa hwe Ghana you say people crack of police for na say to gas go amoka mo ansa na omadi wachi akoka asem no and imagine and crofa here na was cat to afford these things and a lot of people dey omo ya ade no kra yen che wo mo. And of course, obviously, into a non quadi or befa no word in wide, wakoso ayede, on your moye because Papa will be saying if the man was dealt with her and can one ya quite and fan call second one the in the first place.
No,
but because of 1 year day, they didn't so yeah the external no ma one any did it. Now 1 year be about it no. And all yeah, or go so this Nsem full way. Now, why one will say, Papa ended the sun in Namobana was out for 10 minutes.
Now, with that one, no matter pretending to be now, now, so trophy just say, night crab, what made it, what did that? Midnight, like this. I mean, to say, like, I war, a warrior. Now, baby, now, bear my catchy. With obey man won't mean Franco Shetongam. Woman and I would do. Oh man, I mean, it says sometimes, so would dream you maybe one. I are certain things, God forbid, and foul so. Because your friend is saying a man be now, almost dependent, anything aside dependency, no. Ye kuro ma bebre na modem ho ato be maso financially, no. Some of these things, Oba will say the reason why I would now who subject ne on one yemuma to omo papa, so one fat and collate to one kasa papa info, but when him say bibi say koso, but will keep you in the home environment, a toxic, unhealthy home environment, to be molested by their own father. Unim say bibi say you so even say one fa when you suspecting because only ono kwane be ma panya or honum umba panyi one went me fa ne be me nkosho ono ane to. And at his age, onim sa adwene kura na ode akwhye ne nua ketewa to. And I wo oba no nso say wona wonye se ne sofo ma me Pastor Esther kan na how say you just stay there say umami enji ntu umami nji wundi enti no say wujai be ma na muni baby akọ modidie mu no mu ne ade enti ne say emma say mutimi bom homoden wukun na hwe okrampo na apɛ won sa no adwuma bi to be independent financially na mu say na wo don ho to be ma so na be ma no eye wo bron sama na say na he e na wo be. I mean this one I mean
yeah, sister you know what kind of because someone say yes is what and I yentem na warrior no one the way you without say you be ma oba no I establishing who first. And lack of say wo oba no wonye adwuma no na nyina ye de e kan wo bi. Enti so one person ko ba no or adwuma bi a wo ye or dwetre bi o de ye na adwuma no de ye ko ba. So all this kind of fear no will not be there in the first place. Well, ko be won so be no ho modern. And at the end of the day no to be say cause seek help. Then now then come on because they could have died.
Of course.
And there are many places out there that would not mean you want to. Now, was your phone is on you want to man. Maybe one a drastic action.
No crap.
No, sorry.
Annie.
And even know who says the camera phones near them. Future and pictures. That's one of the only be documenting. That's wrong with the difference. This is your evidence. Papa ni one. Now, Papa ni buy no. This is what is happening. And to want to mean your name. And the Berman interview take action. Man, now was now on your way. But and before the brave way or motivate, oh, we want to be a housewife. Any other who can over billions, not so better. Praise be to God, but who more than but don't lose your identity. What as a woman? Oh, and my baby warrior, we lose our identity in the marriage
money because of money.
We don't know who we are. We cannot even talk.
Property, material things.
Yes.
I mean, to say like, I mean, Rade, the way what I went to me, man, morning sickness, but to carry this case, running to get a bus, be have bus net to na me di my swami ye free the dimicate actually. Not my woman ma. I beg to say, and on say your chromono. And yet all the your friend is saying Krobia a policy for and normal bias normal corrupt because cronym in crony be or honoma policy for no more honum no ye my juma send your my juma but Esa say you what bribery corrupt ones and I can't tell more your my juma. Police station for police, obi wo ho no kra mo ma aban a wote so nanim gu ase bi esan say me kan say aban ama mo sika so munye se ni se na police for ni bi kra po na o wo office ho no they are pedophile omo ye bia ebi mo nso molesters nkwala nkete ene meme nyina na ene meme ebi mu nso ye rapist ena esa say sika ni brain no I say we don't value human being, we value money. Most of us we value money more than the safety of our children, our loved ones. And say sikani any here ni nya asema say sikani ba eko repu here ni ba asam na enko baby
Yeah.
obenya ne fa ho bi aye ne ope akoso arepu nkrofo mrono nso hofo emma de ni honom de esan say n'abusua ewo sika ena saa sikani ni nso abusuafo no esan so omu nyina no they are dysfunctional ena adwenpani omutirim omuye wicked and evil ntino they support they enable this kind of behavior enti se wo society mu a na se ohiani wasam nyeda ekwan be na abefa so a be fight the system.
Yeah, you
It's
cannot. Yeah.
omo system na no bi no aye so omudi omoma embra adwuma yeye no omo nso no oba na wote hye wo ma ye ma panyin te say oh nipa so mesiba o magi sika free ne ho enso no bibia na e de akọhye wo man panyin eye say ye timi citizens people family we need to start holding our police for precinct omo nya omo adwuma your friend is saying kinship enum ni omo police for omo barrier drivers di sika show mo nsa na omaje sa driver no a wo di sika be share wo bribe no omo nyina everybody needs to be held accountable because I can't say police for bribery. Who is giving them the bribery? Isn't that the same citizens that complain about the country is corrupt? So we enabling certain behavior. And then when it's not beneficial to us now, we blame it on somebody else. Start blaming game, raising, giving excuses, enablement, double standards. Obi wa no more baba bejina ha say was so idea omo ye na see hold them accountable. But say aha ne ye hia no ahura gina ha. Say me kan e no ma anya bibia. Just say eni na eku mo man no. The division, the excuses, manipulation, 419, so many negative things, and nyoma enfan kwasoma ye manim no. Eno na ye kro mufo bebre no mo ye ebi mu travel abroad and so sa mentality no da so wo honom ye hu bi yatibi so ho na senka obi di nsem fun we na senka ye hold them accountable. Now, almost set some people as an example now. This will stop. Se me ye yire na me kunkurampo no ono kro anya saade no. Na se me ye yire na se abusuani bi. Ewa abusuani di sansam funwe anase nipa me ben chese ade akra nche so. Woda hwa ne abeswa wo. Anka abusuafo mo mpomema omo nka se menye yen lebu me I don't care because it's that enablement no adosun ewo ye man no ahu ye sika ye sum sika hu hian sika is part of life we need it to do a lot of things wo sika ede ehia but I know nkyerɛ sɛ sika ntinu you take money over nipa asumdue ni peace of mind and in the safety. These children they need to be removed from this woman care because she did not protect her own children. She allowed this to go on for so many years for the oldest son who is 3. No when ya no aka cho say me papa de ne ben ma hye me to a was mo nkasa saying how saa nneọma wee num nyinaa sọfo pastor Esther ekwa chese meju ho a menti ase mesi ahomachi ana ahomachi menti me a no I chese ati no maji ho a mesi menti aya ye mu bi ye dwen kwatire pa sa maame pa wo se bibi say doctor catcher say bibi say nurse catcher say bibi say na wo sta de nkura ne bofie e ma papa yi bayin eh
Yeah, mommy, the chroma can imagine a man in Nsem because
oh
on your faith to
be a parent
to handle the children on your faith because like okay, what's not now next time no. What is the chance guarantee say or call another relationship might be bisa any day AC. Wow. I another be an year oh we were your and yes she protecting oh my babachina to me a dear now being a woman. One with those kind of idea you can nipa na ya de na enye yes unia jamanika na ye bedi watamanti a lot of people no because of amunyo bia man supporting you know much a lot of people cannot come out and no much one as any man then it you apa no ye de na wo hwe wa hwe se Ghana enkrofo ko Ghana ma me fo timi wo se boga ya wa be o wo yire enso ma me timi bo aboso e de gina ne ba chi de ne ba kwa aduro so e ko ji obi kru di mano. I mean, where are we going?
but if we actually nso a ne ba na wie ye
Yes.
ye de akwahye maame pension ya wo se maame ne ye befo na asam we kra akwafa abakra mpo no ada na ya nkokorafo no ye mom baye na emrewafo nkwa ne bo mo baye
Asa ma ye na bibia ye pe. Eno ti bibia ne de ase. Ema naturally no bibia ye pe ti bibia ne de aba be ma. Yeah, because already no yeah. Someone say ma bibia ye pe.
esi emom de ma ya ne hu ahomte
Yeah, I say ma bibia pe me man tesa, but a man bibia be twema be kra oba.
but
Bibia ye pe.
so Pastor Esther unim say ade ba ko ama recognize ne say because even Ghana movies so mo ye and it say some of the series yeah be popular on YouTube with virus nomne amagan TV nomne I mean some of them no I'm enjoying futuo kesiema say obi a na adwin mu do na te say odwin kwa akire na onya mre nso asase nneoma no wutimi nya afutuo bebree film ba obi no obehwe enso no onya hwem because the basic fundamental sense no is not functioning at the level a ehia say be function ti obi wo ho no no ohwe no de wo hu no enu bia nso no obeye wo hu afutuo na ewo mu no na te say on say se ba enuro sema ewu baba ko ye mfitiase enu bedi de but most of the time omo ye enduro sem no ema no because enduro sem no spirit no otimi ma wo ewre fi ade
Yeah.
se adoye ye se wo koye afibia anase whatsoever no etimi ema wo wre fi saade no enti no wre fi a eno ena kama ehitew ahitewa na is going into generational into some say that generation Christosom papa bi enjina ne na so because Christosom no ye mu bebre so Christo enso no yakoma mu ni etim no adwen wo mu ntino nyame only receive yen so obi betimi akwa sorry ye bo ye worship ne praises ade e betie si ne so no ono ankasa no wo kwa na komo sɛ nyame ho nhunkoko na abɛti ne mu ɛne ɔmo nso a yɛka sɛ biribi anyɛ din a mema sɛ ɔmo ano ɔmo bi ɔmo pɛ ɛkeka nsɛm bi sɛ ɔmo ne ɔmo sɔfo na ahyehyɛ ho sɛ yɛ holy ghost nankasa na ɛka sɛ whichever one in it no ebi yɛ nokorɛ ebi nso wɔ hɔnom a it's a plain thing yɛnim saa because asɔfo yi bi no ɛyɛ 4194 asɔfo yi bi mu they are dishonest asɔfo mu bi a ɛnɛ mmiri ma ɔmo wɔ hɔ yi yɛde yɛne bi ɛnyɛ nyame adwuma na ɔmo nam so yɛ ɔmo de wine nom ne ayi no nnuro nsɛm na ɛte akra ɛbrɛ Into wash all now for so do cram and yammy, or crab baby and no be small thing. Ain't you know to say, Adia, you see, to me be anyone more a saying yammy to me,
Yeah.
or bad yen to me. And soon nipa yantiasem. Yan kasi ya pesi making your rules. Dear ya boy and only ye because be my own my dream say, I feel beson, not be cerebon facha, nyame de betchemi. But a bimun soon ya we say woo could di bonny when it yasa ya woo yeno, a ya bonnet. Now woo kosu a disabonne na. That will not be forgiven.
Oh, true. That's how our Bible, my Romans, or say what's but there is no forgiveness for you anymore because you are aware. We are aware when you're
No correct.
And she said deliberately who could do body now saying make many tears how do you probably quack maybe I must on the fact stop deceiving yourself.
No correct.
Wow, you read a Bible, you know. Your name says I name my way in our Bible. See, of course, you're trying to say, so for baby, dear my. Now, there's some for reading on what you saw them one. And yet, there's some for reading on not doing that. Not doing that, baby. And you won't deliberate in one when it down, when it's your money. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And when your wife say, Yammy, the better not boniface and I, yes, Reno. Oh, the one of Fatia, me, Fatia, Fatia. Why no one free Akumanum? No one free Sabon and one. There is no mercy behind your baby show.
No correct.
Yes, I will know.
No
From
correct.
Makumania, so the one who can't I say, Raddy Fatia me now. No, dear Chow. One who from Makumanu. And I will be one, okay. Well, said be I know the in a bit may be. But Yamina was Shakumanu. And to Wakuman, we say, wouldn't know. Oh, Kakeke. Because the next time, no crowd will bump pints of Fatamino. Now, the next target crowd will trim. Who free while I walk out do bonnie. It's one I would deceive you. Who deceive you will be anti fashion be I day. Any woman. Oh, but so what kind one say, Apple Bonnie at the Boca James chapter 5. A catch, I say, even on move for my juma, or be a juma mount. That's a witch eating or send the party soon, this way a day, a dress of your radianum. Master free one will this uncle of one as a mom. It's wow, but you say, only will be a bab, only will be ya dear. Because of you are stronger than the person, you know. Who abusing it because only come for to say the Ghana some I can. To be also no more scapa. As I say, Omuni here for ya summer, Omun treat you on ye no more boom cassietino. None of your master mamma to be one as can I say. Yes, a bay for I. Umana bibiato. Was a bay for I. As I said, you can't come for. Now, who feels a one more dear was he seen pano. On your mission, I see a body, dear Yamina Prano, right? Yamina Prados and Yamina. Yes. Then I miss why the idea, Manam, the deity. Yes, he had best drama will for he said. Mammon's not now. I say, what warrant you know? I dear be costing yet. Never costing ya for when I see from Nekan was him. So one warrior Ghana and you're trusting and respecting your kuno. You're respecting you know. It is our respect nekas. You're cast respect who could to the extent so who could your body who to make conscience and your warrior in yet. Now there's a difference between respect. So be a idea. Now we're pointing the pan to the right and not just what disrespecting the panel. And we should get that thing straight. But yeah, and I find respect me so much say, well, yeah, money I want to make because who can you are disrespecting your husband and I say you are disrespecting your parent. Or more you be and who disrespecting them. No. Obi yadiana and yana can don't just say you are disrespecting the person. And to be kind of womb and how do you move and our person who good and say, if you are the girl you call me. And I'll move so there are some two so I didn't know person who good and say because I didn't know you're not so and yet wow, it's differentiating what is respect and what is the meaning of honoring my husband. And it's a yeah, dear, it's why you know, me condolence me say in the form of respect to ya dear, it's mammy can own kunkolano. Says who says here your babachi movie because woman, you know, to be in a headache, Sunny Manema wing in a headache, a buy. It's Munya, I say, I respect my husband, I respect my respect to husband. No, yeah, dear, and so to me catch and out to me one what's no. No free side couldn't know. There is a difference between so be ya and any respect. It's a young guy's idea. Say, sister, I enjoy it be been a catch and I don't just me respect.
No correct.
Yeah, no stress. So I don't know where we got that mentality from, where we got that idea from. It is a say,
lack of knowledge.
Yes, lack of knowledge. Even chroma cry BC. Obia or worry. Now I saw any by somebody as some chroma Ghana for. By somebody as some now. Obama ne kana so Obani kana sama. Asama so mpani for the beka say. Obani muadi muadi na. Or your plan say for. When I'm team jamu na minim say the Bema na ye. And American. Enti wo ami muadi na ne de. It is what we say. Obi ade na nya ye di ade go no aye den. But nipa na ka yes nipa ni muadi no. It shouldn't be so.
Pastor Esther, when my dear, I think Bible account say lack of knowledge, my people perish. On say si eka so bi buade a ye mu bebre no say ubu ade ni say uka wanu tum uhu ade say ekoyo empoyo unka he eni kwa say akwara wodi wanu etu panyi panyi di nkomo kra akwara wo nya nka eni kwa say uka bi se panyi di nsamfo a akwara wo nyansasam abeka ache panyi na eni kwa say uka bi because uka umu ade ena ye community society nso no yama obia different level so te say osofo kasa se bia nneoma nkoye wo fie na sofo pa ye mu bi de sofo a compare ogbo ade enti se sofo de onye wrong right because osofo uhia mpaibo a ono na akoto mpaibo wo no ho asofo ibi wo ho a uka onye fasting mama odi fufuo in the afternoon no we are wakoda ne fam say wo ye fasting amount empire no krempo no more we can create our own miracles
Now then I would me go to yes classes of on your fasting mount.
just say
Bible ban the access to yes classes of on your fasting mount.
hey so for say ye no ya nipa ye see ni nyansa see nyame ye ni abie enti ye mu bi ani bie no say wo hia empaibo a wo de ukoma sofu sika ana say ukobo afore right ena yes wo sofu abompaya ma instead say wo ankasa abompaya na empire mbonso no you don't need to be in church and san wo abompaya any space you are even walking in the street you can pray and once I want you have lost your mind Ubon mpaye wo tirim na abeduru baabi kokoa bi a ɛhɔ no mu betimi ebie wano akasa a wakasa ɛne ye mu bebre nso no sɔfo te sɛ ye hia de a anasa asɛm to yɛn a ɛne ɛkae sɛ nyankopɔn wɔbɔ adeɛ ɛwɔ hɔ na wɔbɔ adeɛ yɛ even wonim sɛ nipa asomasi mede nakoma so adeɛ mana ne nsa kan wi obegya mpaebɔ wɔn nsɛm obi wɔ hɔ nom a ohia de ɔbɛbɔ mpaeɛ bɛyɛ fasting ayɛ de ɔbɛyɛ ne nsa kan a na ne wura fi ne nyame na ɛsan bɛbie mu a wasan akɔbu nkotodwe akɔpa nyankopɔn kyɛw wo deɛ no akɔtɔ in the back of the line because ɛsɛ ɔka hu sɛ obi di w'anim a wo deɛ baayɛ no wɔno ne nsa nkaa ne deɛ yɛ yɛsɛ ɔbɔ adeɛ no da baako ɛyɛ no over 1,000 years ɛna over 1,000 years no ɛyɛ ne da baako da w'ani na ho so no ɛna nhyira ne bi nso wɔ hɔ nom ɛba nketenkete ɛmma sɛnea wopɛ no no yɛ mu bebree san sɛ we are so blinded with certain things we are na deɛ ɛba sikasɛm koraa deɛ a nneɛma bebree wɔ hɔ nom a yɛmfa nyɛ hwee the minute we see the money no everything else go and sleep so enti no te sɛ wohwɛ nneɛma bi a ayɛ ana ahom te na wo sɔfo wo bedi asɛm na ɔbaa na ka na asɛm a asɛse bɛrima na anim ka sɛ ɔbaa n'anim asɛm a ɔbaa ne de bɛto w'anim no ɛnkɔ baabi a bɛrima no ɔnsesa no because sɔfo kura mpo na ka sɛ wo ɔbaa no w'ani nhyɛ adeɛ enti sɛ no deɛ na aka a wɔbɛtie asɔfo no mu bi nso no ɔmo na ɔmo sɛ awareɛ asɔfo no bi no ɛna sɛ abusua ntɛm so sɛ wanya asɛm koraa wɔ waware fie wabusua fie a sɔfo deɛ n'asɛm ne sɛn sɛ ɔno ba mu ɛbɛka bi asɛm ɛsɛ yɛde nneɛma to baabi ɛyɛ sɛ yɛto Ghana for bebre pe kataso. Sister ya to bra kan kataso memu aso. Right?
Yeah.
Sama ba say o ebe go abusua nanim ase. And so what? See ye wo obi wa abusua nim no ye pedophile. Or ye pedophile.
Yeah, or a pedophile.
Held accountable. Because the Bama what you want now there was saying nkiti na ube to na. You don't deserve to be in the society. You need to be locked up for the rest of your life. People like that, they don't change. Well, Babontin, or by Sabah Shah said in Colabium, one found one in neighborhood, what baby fufro. Baby, I tea, yenina, baby, it will be there are pedophiles over there. Enti, yemma, NS indicating on my and Kuala, Mammy May, the oldest is 3 years old.
Yeah.
And I didn't know car.
Yeah, now come bet you.
Everything you turn it in. Your responsibility to protect your child up to the age that they can really grab asama abeka no obeti ase no no abetimi a protecting itself. Akura bi wo ho no ma children are so very innocent. Enti no to say obi fia no na we familiar with the person awu maami anase papa no tia na ono nso wo be feel say wo yo obi a wo ye abusuani. Enti so friend say ofibra obedi so akọ ọbakọ oga se kofi tina ha say meba okwahye dem o say o kofi eyi abi kwa mintimi nyi bra na behwe ade akora ketwa de na onum obaba ko bra da mu honom nipa ne betumi adi ne bone awofo no ene anuanom ade anu ekire ye mma ne anuanom se ne ebeye a saa nneoma we se nu nyina pedophiles ni molesters ni rapists no omunya easy access. Esan say yenchire yemu bebre nchire ye mad no saa nkrofo we say no they have easy access and to wa wo de wo because bi o hono ma eben wo hwea no a yamfa ni uba enti na mfa ho wo ka ne wo pe etu wo de a esi maboso pesa ade we say de enye wo kwan so but etu obi ba de emfa wo ho enti de open na wo beka.
But sister, do you see it in me sad and I say,
Yeah.
Say, oh yeah, wafa, meant running also. Oh brother ni, Sani money, man, I sketch a man no mujai. One. Mamma or say dear, say we are supply away, or bad to me for we are see away, or be one more lesbian, wound or boy a gay wound him. Prevent that. Mamma will bank was no be naso. Said ye, yano. Or your phone, or your new, or your dame. I'll grow you a honor. Do not entertain it.
Even straight to four cramp, handsome funny be.
Yeah, man, ma will back and what's not from one aso. Oh, I am my uncle, no abba, no, I push that, I know what's not an aso. No, near plan and quan, no much a damn near day. Sunday, money in a moment a day. Yan prevented that. One, we ain't set it one. Oh, yes, uncle, for because I know you be to do, ye be to do.
Oh, I don't
protect. Oh, my. Wow,
maybe
set boundaries. When continue away now, so obi sprout se bra beje tofe, no the tofe down. Men ko, men ye way. Obi frost and nkwa wo dem bra. Men ko catch and say me ma me say that be.
No correct.
Me no nkwa me share dem man. Obi any around. Me to me yes ade no. Yen say your man say man me to avoid these things. Cause you ancestral man, omo be a victim. Wow. Oh, say. A true stage be cry upon her. Who father no cry no. You are not supposed to bath your female daughter.
Oh no, at certain age, where you no, because your hands does not belong in their sexual area. So and a man and so no, yeah, mama at certain age, we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
they're the same violation with child's personal because I could be a will do certain age or coach school crampona or bet me a sister. Oh, sister, you Shanka said thank you, Mama Esther.
Oh, you welcome.
And and also paying for fasting and prayers is common in Ghana. This is really sad because why can you pray your own prayer? Oh, sister, you Shanka said Matthew 7:7. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be open unto you. So say one mommy another scripture. Mati say you will say that. I mean baby. I can't say me come be the Bible ma. Hey, me ne Bible ne talk ya be ko challenge no be small thing. But suffer asema wo kind no it's really true because to say me baba no 10-year-old to say no onya mfie 9 and I say 5 years old and be mani nya mfie nsia and I say 7 no and I me class me ne wa mo papa the sha se chiro mo wa part of body a ntimi mfa ne nsenka say eni kwan say omo ala na obi animu omo because obi wo obenu nu wani beba ho na ne nsa ne nam no fo ho na say wa ya ase enti no they know say nobody can tickle them and to say omoboso obi di ne nsa ne nam so ne nofo abubo ne nofo mubo yo eno no it's a no and after so no to say obi wo hot tickle you stomach eno so no is the no wo to obi di ne nsa befifa wo to there be wo sre obi di ne nsa befifa ho wo betna obi na so se wo bi a wo sia wo fa bi ana se wo nua bi whatever na enchia se nso covid-19 pandemic ni nti yesi nchia etam ana afen to say bi a ebia to so obi wo ho mo to so mentina me na so batra me na ntem wontimi nya saade no and afen so no wotna sia you always need to make sure that there's space and ya chiro mo say bi a akonya amotim no enough space ni ho a instead say on say ukwo fear maybe or home nkonya sa pillows them you take the pillow from your back and you put it between you and the other person you put if someone is caressing your arms now that is inappropriate because they don't have any permission to touch you you know and often to touching your face you know if someone give you a compliment now say thank you my mother and my father tell me all the time cut off any conversation. And you know, Tanyoma we say no like ya church ye mano and I ya trauma to say will be eka say either sefa will take crema eka omotonga and I say fan bema be one no fan bema in share what numa that is inappropriate. And I wish chia penny and I say a age anyone no catch us idea ye men can't show be that's a red flag. Said they shouldn't be doing it. And you know, like yeah, church no and Nuoma Bebre, you know, guys are not before pandemic, me school, game. Okay, no matter or ban mammy, tell me of your body, obedient and sansum. No, I can't in my busanana won't so mention part of the Nuoma, which ya will be no cafe. Yeah, untimi no so every time be an rotation said the stay in their mind and then we also taught them say any kwan say omumubia they end up in a room alone with teacher's assistant and I say students need your money they can empower them every time they need to make sure say when they are in a room now there are a bunch of people over there they shouldn't be left with 2 or 3 people like we just give them information because some people they stay there especially on peers if there are 3 of them now only and saying to me again up on you. You need to make sure that there's always adults and some of your classmates in the room. Don't allow yourself to be vulnerable. And I say being so say at some point because they will moving, you may end up being left back, right? If anyone, trying to isolate you from the group now, start calling your teacher. Say, zoo sometimes more transition or we me and yank you out of the when someone grab your hands now we have taught our children you drop on the floor, start kicking, putting your hands, scratching, do whatever it is, screaming. Use everything you possibly can. Make sure several corners will be grab school bag. Take your school bag. Everything is in there. No? Your parents can buy it for you. Remove the school bag and give the person the school bag and just bolt. Don't stop. Run, 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 run till you see adults, a whole bunch of them. Don't go to somebody's room and like we as the parents, no, we are obligated to teach our children. And at once. One at a time. And to say you used to wait and you're moving to the next part, the next thing. And a lot of parents, they are hesitant to teach their children some of these things now to protect their children from putting themselves in situation. Pedophiles need molesters, to molest them, and I say, make them a victim or also be victimized after they have been abused. When you report it now, ubehuna neighbor and I say busiani bi no afre na omu accuse akwala say akra no mom na ya akra bone no ama say ni say aba enti sometimes no nuama bebre wo ho no ma your society, there's a lot of parents and people within our community and society, they're not helpful. They lack of a lot of knowledge, and some of them they just ignorant, and some of them they know exactly what they're doing. It's say we buy into any excuses and reasons and then blaming other people who has nothing to do with it. I was watching a video whereas this group was blaming a Ghana president, say or no na wama students free education kwala na omuko school na say na mepamocho a president responsibility say wɔhwɛ yɛ mama yɛn anaasɛ yɛ awofoɔ no yɛn responsibility see yɛ training yɛ mma in a way a akwaraa no ɔkɔ a adeɛ na ɔkɔsua ɔnkɔyɛ mmɛɛmasɛm because akwaraa no kɔ school na ɔkɔyɛ mmɛɛmasɛm a you the parent or the community society who is blaming this senseless blame on the government mo create all this na enkwala no nso ye ne omope. Me growing up me maame ne me papa say wan fa ba moye da baradanko wo so waso wo koto na wa sorry na time ye begya no akọ no wuntimi kura nante wo ba wia anaso obedua aburo wo nan ba akusi form wo nsa ba akusi form na wo nsa ba akwa pagya. You need to stay in the same position. And I mean, all that, that is something that he knows. But he said, like, you have some parents send you almost flog or man they may of being a flog me senselessly. So, but he says, and your man, I think so, because the growing, not minanum, almost say. So we carbon trainer, so we sika da ha mensa, ubedani akoko. Abi ubedani we say, enti no nam kra na we sika ofom a wonka. Because one say, ubedani akoko no obi bechi wa kokun. Na we feel say ma say, men say it. But then I'm a form maba. Say asem we kwaka kire no no kro obeka say you are crazy. That is stupid. Obeka chosu wa Jimmy. Ensu no ebia ye nananom saa time no eno na omode ye omode protecting yen se ne be ya yen sa enye yi me nana otimi de metina se no ajoa me se nana no asa frɛ me ajoa me se nana me ma me nua ma because me ma akoko de ma tu no no waka ot ma frɛ wo mpra he me se nana wa frɛ me mpra me nsa wo se hwɛ efia ne ansu ye tifihia wo se efia ha ye emema single men bebree tete fie ha edan we papa we na tim wahu so wo yire mesi daabi edan we na tim wahu so wo yire mesi daabi what say omuwu biala esuma se kota ade bro mo wo ba fa aduane ni si steps no
You see?
Peti wonom na frɛ me sɛ wo de aduane na ɔka sɛ pabra inside and so yɛ okay ɔka sɛ fancy sana wo so yɛ okay na de ato hɔ na wo de ama no enti no te sɛ we were trained ɛna ne yɛ tie yɛ fitiefo enti sɛ akora free ne fie ɛkɔ free school whatever it is no na sɛ ɔkɔyɛ mmɛmasɛm na sɛ ɔkɔfa yɛ fo a is ɛnyɛ ɔman panyin responsibility wo awofo no wo no wanyi wadwuma yi enti no sometimes na yɛ nsɛm bi wɔ hɔ ebi mu ka mitimi tena hɔ nom
sir, we won the blame game, right?
No correct.
I remember, sir. I saw you on a corner. That is a shame, right? The teenagers know.
Yeah.
About dressing appropriate near day. They may say and say, hey, Western Shrankulana the part. And I'm say, and I'm saying, I didn't hear the other say a better. Obi ba sorry, I meet me before Auntie Adwa. I will fear say, oh, bad dress, I can appropriate. Yet, gonna say a better.
No correct.
The parents are somewhere enforcing.
No correct.
And I'm saying, Papa, you guys are ridiculous. So then I'm up actually. It is one who said it here.
Yeah.
The blame game to your per se. Nanado and Nankasa, what my VHS was some best school. I bet you some planning myself. Who parent I was said, yes, I obey it. Over Chiran Colano. Sam Manema weighing now. But Debiano, we want somebody say, or Moboni day, ya blame woman. Now, Master say, ya ma on Sagana for respect. Anna or your bussy and Ugun and Nimaseniade. Sadia Cosonanya. And you got see any baby because idea went say idea so to Asiano. That went to Asiana. A beginning Ababa Yede, Ababe Hawan Casa.
No correct.
Ababe Ha a Busiano.
No correct.
And Mama Yanja is a catasumo mason and Yade. And why?
Some sister I have to grasp the piano.
Yes. Catasumo mason and the M wine to be a DNA. You said the chroma, I said nobody is above the law.
Of course.
For crossing red line, not police, you will face the law.
No correct.
It is as soon as you say, we are mammy, we are who so no way are bad. You face the punishment. This way, I am I apply to all of us. Now, I say, Yama certain people, Yama preference, power
over the other
people or money power, not child abuse, and you can't say child abuse. Why? And yes, some quite child abuse.
Oh, no.
Obi or Honoma, only made in a thing, and also in your vanity. Yet, a compound house, you need to, and you also say, Mamma, man, yes, she. I could not in chance or yeah, or sorry 4 a.m. Or yeah, 12 a.m. and Sunday they walk down. Child abuse, thinking I the air coso. You will sign him away in I to wash it. I could not hear they could go if you for your money binny. You will sign him away, you are in your papa. No, yeah, what missing as soon say for now I would think now yet. And I'm
saying, I see a defeat a jankama and soon. And I said, yeah, me, just want me taking care of you'll be now the and I mean to say Ghana phony be now omontiasem especially man mame for and plan for no me wo wako are them and or oba abanomano wo mistreat no me ade wabrabo nti da no matter what you do. When you mistreat somebody else's child now, and see that you struggle. You go struggle with the many who be. With the many who be because of the horse always say papa and that be answer blame you fear mammy bay for. And now one person will create sad no amount. I want to say me feel say sikani eba commit crime. Now the police ni we are in charge of that precinct. And as a police ni we are adwuma with that precinct. Oji bribe. You need to be fired, not suspended. You need to be fired and then prosecuted. Me feel say in every situation, there needs to be an example settled. Say ebi mo nti asema because ye kuro mo fo bebre wono no say bibi ensi a onsua bibi emfrim enti no to say as a police officer if you take bribe now, you should be arrested and prosecuted. So won't spend a prison time cramp na community. Ghana gwata bebrebe mu asisi no as a police officer. Wo ye ma wo ko clean sa gwata sinu bebre. Eyi mu e de wade ne soa na nsuo kankan ne so go so a. Next time you go see what citizen no na wo bribe no, you need to do community service. I mean to say, I think say, but yemu bebre we are corrupt. Yemu bebre we are bribing. Enti one holding who's accountable. And then most sorry no ma omo fa camera see omani so omani any omo kika nsem with comments no mni ade. Say na Ghana ben ye say na president onu nkwa betimi aye omani nyina adwuma anko vice president anko ministers anka MPs wo ho. Who is holding who's accountable? Ghana oman panyi ne job ne se wo omani nyina no NDC MPP whatever party you at now, he's responsible for making sure that our country is safe and the people within it. But there are certain things now he cannot prevent it. If you, the citizens and the people within, parents, so many people, we all have responsibilities. We cannot choose to put our responsibilities on somebody else. It's as your crew for bebre per se. Obi and solve the problem mom. Wuni sika. Obi timi ton ice water to me the sidan. Sa nipa ndi onim nyansa, right? Obi etimi ton gari e de ye nneoma bebre. Ba obi wo ho a we school was me we school nti me nkoton ice water na ase me ton gari. Aputo me pe office. And yes not said there be answer no obema and the bed do so ebema wo instruction a control emma bebre wo benya warepa was wo ni sika enso na bia abema obo ne ho modern pa but esan so ni sika nti no what wo mpe no akofa na eni kwan se mofa. There are so many people, they don't belong in relationship that they in because of loneliness. They are last stop because say no one funny sa ne ho akere no aware ya no say say hey heaven kwan no eno ne de aware ko woni be mate oba woni be mate na be ma no ni susu ben bi wo no ho a enye wo abuse wo child in any forum ebromu entientiemu verbal, emotional, psychological, what sort type of abuse, sexual, molestation, being a pedophile, and anything, another vice versa, or abuse, you need to report that. And love is blind, and love is never blind. And you create all the blindness because when we see things now, we seems to look the other way because and they know me. When I see, I go talk about it. I don't hide stuff because I know it create more problems. Because nipa no what the will be for years. Ube no de aduru abonten na odi duru abonten so ni no betimi alemete abonten so ni from going to tell. No, and before it goes outside your home, no, you need to report that for the person to be prosecuted and hold accountable. Say judges and I say lawyers so take bribery, they need to be held accountable by your kuromu. Ebene no mana koso. Yemu bebre are corrupt. Yemu bebre we give bribery. Send ye we are san bebre mu aban. Ukwa ye Nsem hunu Nsem tantana na de akosho before. Esan say ye will be numa. They are receptive to ye de asha aban. Aban ye say. Now who as a citizen, what steps have you taken to prevent certain things from happening? We have the power to do anything that we put our mind into, but we cannot develop our country. We cannot protect our children when we are divided. We have to be united in making sure that we're holding people accountable. NP betna so na say ne kurom no wantimi anye ne kurom kwan anye neighborhood schools nom ne ade no enya aba na ade question, because most of the MPs, they are being given a certain amount of money to help their district, and they're using it for a massam edit to talk a dynum ni ade enu de monka muya na mudi ni nyina akosho oman panyi is he responsible for everybody bullshit and everybody foolishness? This man, he needs to be arrested. This man say ne hwa mu man nyina omu yi ni nyina afiri ho no. Send beya wonya any feelings bia no on rape ne makra no de akwabonte akorape obi ba. How? Because you say we need feelings, how you won't have the idea to go as you crow we say omo ye adwenbone for, because ade na ebo na nim no emfa so obi eni so hwe nsem money wickedness awodidi 4 months old when amakono ben na timi ba so na de wo ben makose akola kitikiti to aba.
Sister, you are chrono my yes, no. Someone said the fear better microphone.
Of course.
Because when he says yes, I didn't get you. You bet you everyone to walk around. My phone work yes, I did.
No correct.
Well, Nipano say Nipan Casasidia Yame boy, ye had discipline.
Oh, yeah.
Ye jaya pemaya. See a castle beyond cross the red light, ye jaya pemaya.
We
come and say, street is a prank of it in Pababa.
Oh, yes.
And looking at your own rules, no. And it's a rules are ye, Juma. Nipa, I am your person, be so ya bonny. Now, I hear the Yamani Panam face the full punishment of it. And also some and for a power. So among ye de course no money de, or munya side no more ye de Mama, yeah.
I'm gonna have to use Bartek, yes.
Mama, anyway, sorry. Mama, yes, I did. And I yes, sister about say, once a Ghana. Akola ya bone ne apanya.
Yes.
Akola is always wrong. Sadi manema nyina esi ejai. Na say hu na ye dia say mu no say wo obi abuse you. No catch yourself can make a because of person bone no gusu di di unti no de sa adwen na so wutiri mu no. Quickly ko pe baby na ko kan. Na catch from say radio station say bu. Enti so your ba na wote wo. Na say be ma won na che wo fa oba. And asa oba e man is be secret me lesbian. E rape you mama no. So who say sa de no so e de e koso a. E so mo kan ye de ye chi nipa ko no. Na ye put an end to it. E ye fear the who so mo because I born no. O person ogusu an o ye de o de ye ho. Enti mama ye ntena no mo nye de. Omo fa sa hu no enye de shame. Yeah, na yenye de yentena ko ne ko ba amane. And ye best say ye nuanu I sorry. So obi di asam ba mesra mo. Mo ma yen ko ye one sided. Mo ma yen ka se nipa na ye bearman ti no ye society e wo mo sa na ekoso. O ye bearman ti no. O bearman ni ntimi nyesa. E ye ne papa no ne papa ntimi nyesa. Say ye hu sa ne mani nyina omo ye da. E no until say we be finding out, so don't rule it out. Say the past may seem to me yes sir. Mo take it as some the part. Mo hwehwe mo na mo say the city na mo fa emranto kwan so baby emrada. Or ya sorry penny na see to the same. More learning the lesson. All these things no say in place.
Now almost to say sorry.
Yes.
No, the reason why I hear to nothing. Because if someone is a pedophile, near to us saying, and see a many people who say we are pedophile. Because one say a new man obi or high bit to nothing. And so no the reason you are protecting yourself, you're not protecting the whole community. Because we're free her. The same behavior now or this child because Brono for no meaning and one see a two nothing. But they don't know the reason why I do nothing. Oh, I said in our society, the child is always wrong. We believe the adult over kids. And this is the reason why a lot of adults are taking advantage. And molesting and doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. And since I had to write my favorite word, thank you, Baba Esther. You katatumo so no. Katatumo so na yesi ebiem ni investigation.
Yes.
Say we holding adults, children, adolescents, whosoever, parents accountable for their children's action because parents are enable they also need to be Mrs. Ghana, come be a community center where as citizens who boom rebia who here prison time who here community service if you got us bebrebe ye mu asim ke ni beda ho
Kemo better on them.
beda ho mo dia mo time ma ye ma ye ni take position na nka mo mema no mo a mo rape no bayi no kama wu kura ye ye be mama ye adwuma to the stand no mo kura mo ni beba mo ho so mo be jai sansem hu no
Because someone say akola who say set boundaries, right? Man, right? Only say any kwan so you say.
no correct
If I hear discipline, one time you call school meeting, right? Now teacher na say na me ba second born. No misbehave school na teacher no free meeting. And I make her say, oh, because of I'm diagnosed with autism near the end.
yes
If you business teacher and catch me say, no, the principal no catch me say, was steady me banner who say, one or one near ding pa into one over classroom, I did be what friend 1 year.
no correct
But when you are the teacher, no a year soft no, and don't know, and no you know, a year no. And I'm oh, I see. To me, Jack. I say, oh no, so.
Jack, where are you?
Jack, I am here. It is one say, won't even say, teacher, wait there, and here to on fast idea and the end connection.
No correct.
It is only yes, you put it on that strict measures, no. It's me and Casami, and I'm a share teacher, and I miss what me. It is not because of Savior or be what condition waiting, no. As any funny, you're free to fool around
from doing certain
yes.
We are
ain't okay, son, Abua, as I said, you're in our jai.
of course, on say a suffer Kulana omu spectrum, one spectrum autistic disorder, right? Autistic, and I say bipolar. I think that he wants to come on the video today. Autistic, they are very observant. One sometimes no timi hwe na wotimi tena one spot. Bibi ekoso wo fie ho num nyina onim. Your facial they watch everything, your facial expression, they know when you're upset, they know when you are annoyed, they know every single thing. So when you come to them now, you cannot lie to such children, because if you lie to them now and they can lie, they will tell you straight up, say, you're not telling me the truth. And almost who can't so much Roma say be a more quabonting. Now catch them some 2:00. Make sure say 2:00 on the dot, you are on your way out, or 5 minutes before that you are on your way out. Say botu nipa 1 minute kura na 30 seconds. You have crisis in your hands, because asama wokan when is so. And they work well with structure, consistent structure routine. So when I'm working with consistent structure routine now,
is mine.
Principal and the principal they know which teacher is structure and consistent and do not take no inconsistency or no misbehavior, unnecessary misbehavior. And no teacher and so I no there ubetimi aye bibia wonka hwe, because teachers ni bi wo ho mu suro sa nkola no ompese akora no ebenya tantrum or feel so can there be almost no can no they get tantrum, you say no with an explanation, you just don't say no. So children are
Sister, I say we're joining in a minute
because you're consistent.
See one say I did be one nearby. Yeah, consistent at the end of the call.
No correct.
Wow.
No correct.
Teacher nature said that we was steady akolano. This is what I will who so yeah. It may buy me apply the same method no. Wajai.
You see?
Wajai.
I will be on so I won't feel or be coswa and the bull. Because some of this misbehaving, you know. No, any ye man crano cosu because it's a what it will be and I'm glad to be on so if you send me away dream, a carbon kasa or kasa no, different. But it's a who apply discipline. Or fear or need fear crampona, discipline is right there. Because you said this year, you, the mom, or the dad will be called. So he's not gonna get away with it, or she's not gonna get away
Yeah,
with it.
until one said, yeah, yes, I did, and at the end of the day, no, yeah, the sad discipline and casa, eba ya worry mu. Now ya the buy society man. Sani maniama way in a bejai.
A two bit
It is so be say, or no, won't mention and also. No only me say, well, yes, I did way. Now I'm branding the bedia. Whom cohabitation and sister able to
ever hear that?
whom could able to acco, but because of young setting discipline be anyone now. Obi ya dia yam punishment the yam for your 90 from Nitino.
Yes.
They go so air day. It to come Bible because it resist the devil and he shall flee from you.
No correct.
It is a wood resistance no air day. Air day Ebama. Right now resisting the enemy now. Also, the only way the enemy will flee from you is by you resisting the enemy. It would do 90 from now we can't say Noah or bedding. Obedi so. Yadam for be or say ne nan for ba ne fie onim se ne maame or very neat on pefi it in nan for ne ba ho no ma omunye fie woni fie because they know say ne maame mpesa it in nan for ne ba ho no ma enya de omo be yesa. Why can't we apply the same way to our society?
Oh, I binding responsibility in so mommy and monsieur five. I buying responsibility. Why?
And you know, self-controlling, a member money self-controlling, Sani my name and money for that by heart. No. Or because he has some says here when I.
Oh, let me be a bit too cruel. When I say lies and deception are the root cause of most of our problems, sadly. And I totally agree with you, Sister Yatubra. Majority of the time, no. I mean, sometimes, it just saddened me to like see certain things, you bet me, I prevent it. But some of us, we choose to look the other way. And then it's good for us to share our opinion about certain things, but and you may be saying, children should not be subjected to molestation, being abused in any form. As a parent, our parents, it's our responsibility to protect our children up to when they get to certain age that they can protect their own self. So like, I mean, I am so like disgusted and disappointed with this woman behavior. I mean, Obi Beka say, oh, okay, Wonisika, Ojabe mana, and so what? Yekuromu, Gary, Obi Timidi Gary from beginning to an end. I mean, it is a Gary, yes, here for Adriane. Ubetimi asoku Gary, wunya wo Gary ni wasi chire etu. Enti ebetimi last for some time. And yeah,
Sister Joy, I'm past suffering. On say, we are to do the right thing. And yeah, easy. It takes sacrifice.
no correct.
Now it takes us be taking measures. Be ne bi all be kwa ahuchire and on a young person, you because I ahuchire you because our brain into no. Now ya de yatna wa na yama adena jinsem. And yes, you can say. And they couldn't I fairly say you better you be kwa ahuchire to deal with it now. No, you better now be enjoying the future and jinsem. Say say akwa na jinsem na wo ye ne wo da wo na wo eno ade wo how can see na bebro na wo fi mfiti ase na atwa so e fa ho kirem koton gari di gari e ye dem ma ne ma ko ye ma na ye the right na nke be de ke beboa wo enti ma ye nya ya dwen say ye kataso mu aso no na ya tena wa say future no e be de be si ye ade ko de na ye kataso mu aso no future no you will pay a bigger price.
No correct.
You cannot be able to overcome that thing. Now, and so this is the time. This is the now for 90 form. na ye de tu ase e bia best of cry 2 3 years 5 years no onyame be ye wadom na we be den obeboa aye den ama wa ye den wa firi mu
Yeah.
wow. And I mentioned the society because society the debiano nipa bebre be sorry I den edidi watem esa wo de wonim nyansa esa wo na to uja ho na wonim say the see so far the next person no cannot come and make the decision for you one kasa we are ready now do next for ma and no wutu anamo wo benya aboafo amena den abeboa wo enye nkrofo mbeka say there will always be people that will talk. There will always be people among supporting your actions at the papa na wo no and crofon support so enu nkyere say won get the right thing for yourself and for your children.
No
And
pressure.
if I'm sure mama yenye the right thing now is the time.
Oh,
Suffer
most
now and
definitely.
enjoy later. But may enjoy now no na and suffer for the rest of your life. Never will man so suffer for the rest of their life. Do the right thing.
Yes. And to say, like, on say, uh, some of the things that you bit me as parents to also prevent, child abuse. And they say we can help create programs in schools and in our community, for motivational speakers around our community. Just, form a group of individuals that will talk about it in the community, and then also in the school. The parents should push for that. We should promote for programs in schools and communities to educate parents, and children and family all around. Also, so no, it's also important for everyone, brothers, sisters, parents, family members, to also monitor our children's, the videos that they watch, internet, some of the television shows that they watch, going on the internet, images and viewing, like so many other things. We need to make sure that we are monitoring that, because some parents, there are some parents who have parental control on their television, but some of them, they don't have that, and they allow their children to watch everything. Some parents, we have electronics for our children. Like for my kids, their dad have like the parental control, so when they go into certain even for YouTube, they need to bring the electronics to their dad, to put in the password before they can even access anything. And whatever they're going to watch, we kind of like pay attention to it. And at the end of the day, we go through to see where they went and everything. So it's really important for parents to like get involved in our children's school. Maybe I am macro school, no, I see I getting involved with programs. So they're sending the teachers will get familiar with the parents, because parents need to home. They hardly available for the teachers. Even when they have parents teachers conference, we know where to be found. See and make yourself available, because when the teachers get used to us now, in every situation, say even only changes in our children's behavior with school now, they are quick to call the parents and let them know. Say for the past couple weeks, I have observed, says you obey, say ni say na ekoso ntino so obetimi anya ne kasachira. We have to develop a good, healthy relationship with our children and also our teachers. And as I said, parents, that some of our kids, they cannot protect themselves because they don't have the capacity, the capability to do so. So, your responsibility to do that. As a mother, as a father, you have to help yourself to help your children. And if you, the adult who has a problem, a serious problem now, you need to seek help from that. We need to also be able to, even when our kids are familiar with our neighbors, we always need to speak to our children about strangers. A stranger can be within the family. So we need to make sure, say, when mom is not here, you cannot allow anyone to come into the house when none of us are in the house. So even when the person mention your name now, do not allow, open the door for nobody. Go in the bedroom, lock the door, go in the bathroom, lock the door, and then take your phone and call one of us. and stuff. As parents, we have to learn to be nurturing, because that's our job, especially mothers. We are naturally nurturing, right? Not all mothers, because some mothers, and it's not everyone. Not everyone can be a parent. We also sometimes spend time to do volunteer work in churches, in the community, because you get familiarized with a lot of people. So even a neighbor can see a stranger talking to your child, and they picking up the phone to call you. So like when you live in a neighborhood and you isolate yourself and your children, you know a neighbor can see a stranger talking to your child, but because you isolate yourself so much, they won't call for help. They won't see a red flag or be alert, because you hardly kind of like get involved with them. So that also sometimes,
Yeah.
it hurts us in a lot. We also need to, like, in the community, we need to do prevent programs. What are some of the things that we can teach the children? Like I spoke earlier, that my husband and I spoke to our children. If someone grab your hands out of nowhere and your teacher does not see, drop on the ground, start kicking, hitting, scratching, do whatsoever. Your book bag, give your book bag away and run. Don't say you have a Jordan's book bag, so you're never going to let it go. That can put you in a serious trouble. So, like, we can do support prevention programs in the community, with our children, have our children be involved, and also know how to identify child abuse. Like, if you have a husband who always constantly being verbal abusive to your child or to you, not identify it. If it's the mother doing that, identify it. If everything, you have a father slapping your child every now and then because of the anger, and that's any mommy, vice versa, because some women have anger problems, some men have anger problems. So it's like it's all around. Parents also and family members, we need to teach our children the right things to do. Wrong is wrong, right is right. But when they are very young, our full responsibility to protect them, to do all this for them until that they get to certain age that they can kind of like receive and obtain things, and be able to process it and have better understanding. We also need to observe. Pastor Esther spoke about her second born, examine and observing our children's behavior, because sometimes when our child is going through some changes or traumatic things, their behavior will shift or it will change. But if you are a parent who is always forever working overtime doing this, you won't be able to see it. So, like, parents who really spend time with their children and know how their children respond to certain things. If something is going on within the house, as a mother, as a father, you'll be able to like know all this, because you will know, because you know how your child, act, right? But don't assume everything. Before you assume anything, just start doing investigation,
That's
talking to
it.
your child, asking them questions, taking notes, and making sure, because sometimes you have the children, they can change their story at any time. But even if the story does not line up, we still need to investigate. Men can say, oh, yeah, parent, and clad you most of the time in an opinion for no any trantro, because when in plano, yanji no endi enom ne adeɛ. Yɛn awofo no sɛ yɛsi yɛkyerɛ yɛn ho adeɛ, na
Yeah.
yɛsi akyerɛ yɛn mma adeɛ. Yɛn mu bebree yɛmpɛ adesua, because yɛsi yɛbɛfa no saa, anaasɛ yɛamfa antete me. Munom no, yɛamfa antetemefoɔ no ne yɛpɛ ne saafoɔ no, Mono na mama tani oma we bebre sisi. Only contenty. First I was three. We come and liberate them because omo and omo man you ma we bebre sisi. They enable things because yam fan tete no.
Oh, say I'm fancy too, all right.
Usi.
Me name is Auntie Bitty, right? Now, Dansuman District Pentecost, or more ya dear pa the youth. Now, once a month, be a mechanic could share Dansuman District. Now, it be almost the doctors, nurses, barber, church, and near my baby. Now, a boy ye.
Yeah.
And then, no, you shall brochure her. Youth program baby is being organized, but I will phone a mom manko.
No correct.
Your church is any my way in and she said, whoop, I will for the people who knowledge about it. I saw any be on my way and sure say, I'm best setting up youth program.
No
That's
correct.
any my name wing in a chem of friend. So I didn't ban back on over time. Day.
Okay.
And your best say all this program no. Ebi mu ye chire bi mu wa sorry.
No
No
correct.
allow mo man no mo mra. No mo metie. And sorry ni so omonye program sa no. Your best mo say omonye program sa. Wo enya de bia na ye be ye break at the end of the day no. We ye break we are. And yes we chire mo fra no. Anyway, no the right thing, the right path to go.
No correct. Hey, so for my me, what time we ask until almost frefre was catch on say we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, until one time do what me invite a nurse, a doctor, maybe a lawyer or better laws. On say chroma say yes, a laws be before Hakola. Oh, any idea a bear affect your future. Munim Sunday manema wing in a buantino. Yes, that's a program Sun is being organized. I may my manners on your day and attend an MY.
Oh, no crepa, and I think say I will no ye who science no. Oh, I think say ye keep your ma healthy because so won't share will basu ya because I will be or no ma akra and krani susan no omutimi jam krano by themselves no mo kwadwuma ya de sikasam no esi ani so a ebe ha adwen pa because no ha adwen this I to bra say or say this makes your children vulnerable in the school system. Parental non-involvement. Most definitely, I will fully be bro no ma they don't get involved. And I think so imperative so say you better watch it, your words, the words that we use on our children because I will fully be no ma omo curse or man kasa omumba omo bro omo mano as akra act up now you have to hold them accountable and then may say you manifest no na oba no or ya no odi nsɛmɔne eti no ebi wɔ hɔnom a mene ne papa yɛ ma ano ankasa ka kyerɛ yɛn ade a wayɛ no ɛyi adwuma a ɛyɛ sɛ wɔyɛ to for restorative work to make amends nti no obi wɔ hɔnom a ɔmo ho adwu deɛ ɔbɛka no ɛyɛ kitikiti bi yɛ so okay ɛno nso yɛ good idea ɔbɛtumi ayɛ no na wayɛ wei aka ho. Inti san with consistency, no say not just we don't even have to say nothing to our kids much. Say yeah, me hear program B, na say and you maybe we want me feel so about boy me to me so everyone a question my mom bet na say brani and face our program you we are no mabuso say program na ye hwe no e din e futu ana say bibi omunya free muntu omu ka omu de wi ana me so ma kire omu me panyin no me aspect me menti ase nso a menya free mu na ekwan a ebefa so a ebeboa omo e na afen nso se yeti ye maase se woye awofo na se wantimi ante wo baase a obi o parent bi wo ho no ma na be ka asem so we say obemambo enoma bebre nchom bebre wo ho ehu hia nya entoboase ne abotre na tie asem na akora na ka no si etie a ebe boa pa ye fie ya ware fie ene ye busua fie environment a ye allow ye mana omukọ honom no say ye violent free any kwa say abuse any type of abuse is taking place kra omo wo program nso so a omo ye ma awofo nso ne nso ye kon say school bi wo ho no mo ye parents workshop. Some of us, we need that badly, but we do not have time to do that. And and US has a normal program before our formal friend PTA or violence prevention correlation. And also no a wapa say timmy a abuse most of the time situation the way it will start say it will be more abusers maybe we are very creative. They will find ways the same so can earlier say obi wo no was a budget of Nsem some time ago omo ma hu news to say Halloween no to say omo koye trick or treat no akwa bi ana wo inject poison go to no was what the man kola me ma celebrate Halloween and nko trick or treat me was sika be make me akoto candy back mienu bi amomo. And like I'm not going to put my child in such like unsafe environment we say and omo te say ma menhwe ade wa ha enti so for my me
Auntie Adwa me time as son
yes nanka me be kind scripture na ade ma me no ba betimi aka last thoughts
yeah
not just say what is mama
yeah me time as son now said you kind no and one ya boss na me I say Facebook me ba Facebook na me hu bibi abaya ma youth here and ya me ba na me dey abeto ne am here discuss. I do that with them a lot.
Yeah.
Because any maybe one moon ye na say ye dey ye church from na ye dey ye mom that awareness no e mom say yes and ye ma ye real and ye ma ekoso wo wi ase on be bo mo ban ti ye be sra awofo no said you will start say o man kakra wo chiro mo no ye nchiro mo na ye have time for them and ye ma bo ni hu na enko ya ye mfa ye nancy form said ye kan no e wi ase obi a wo bibi obeka bia nipa mpenasem who the enya na obe company pampe wasem eno eye normal enti no mama ye masa de nti ye hu bibi na nya enshate ye mouth because Bible says nipa nyina do wa die enti wi ase nipa nyina na bedo enti said ye kan on New York say if you see something say something who bibi amenka say we nya me ba no enti mean measure am na kobo no ye nyina it society mu enye oba no but e bia in a near future betumi aba be your bad downfall na de ohun ya wan correct na aba be how woni obi ofie na wa ware a ukunu ye bone na so wo kan na so ye bone na wo kan it has nothing to do say wo no nipa no it has nothing to do say wo respect nipa no ohun ni ama nya kan wasem it is wo ho na obi sexually abuse wa seek help.
That's right.
Seek help say obi na want me friend as they say social media ba sister Joe do friend obefa
no correct
o friend me abefa
yeah
we be na wo here you be assist you to come out of it.
No correct.
It is our problem be now come we need each other. If you are not you need a shoulder. If you are not strong on your own and not na you ho fraying you be ba na ya be boa. Under no circumstance a child be an adult be should be subject to abuse. Even our real crano won't mean conquer repu left alone or you know our no you only right to say best of your repuno left alone say or ma one woman a taboo a abomination into what was so the war won't be too one or the wadi into me nano seek help who hear deliverance men now one can say media sana here that be and there's nothing like sana metia will be say seek help na your day and your day and wow ne free sa so ban no mo this is that one. Yeah, me too.
Sister Aisha, I said thank you so much for the education. Sister Yatobra, I said thank you both for this powerful insight.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I made a youth for no money me. Me ba pa mo say auntie Esther there ba no. Me na go be on social media.
Ampa.
Na ma ba be chro mo.
Ampa. We will do more programs in the
future. Yes, na ma ba be chro mo. Tinya me sure pa. Why?
Aya. So for my Esther Wednesdays or no be in church. Yeah, no mama ya joining up. support.
Josh, did you do it for me?
So
Oh,
from
sorry.
Pastor Esther, after
Yes.
we will catch up. I'm going to read the scripture that you gave us because I feel that it's very
Yeah,
powerful.
Pastor read the wine. Tis any man, you young say your desire, we muna nyame give you up. Enti
No,
papa ne gay na woni muna wa yesa no. Ono ankasa mu me ono e woni mu ne desire no. E na
and
ode aye sa ne man na wo yenti no.
correct.
Nyame stra, ye sense so biem.
Nyame,
Wo ho na so be threaten on say boni odi uboni, o de ba bonti obeku, obi anyi wundi a, bra be ka chan ye begina wachi.
no correct,
Men fan she dem manipa ne nku.
no correct.
Want me won't mean okay, yeah, when I can order when meant now on then you're subject to that behavior. No. Sister Nyamisha.
Nyame shall survive.
Right.
And the scripture Pastor Esther brought forth for this today's program for regarding child abuse is Romans 1 verse 18 to 32. And I'm going to read from Good News Translation. So 18 it says, God God's anger is revealed from heaven against all the sin and evil of people whose evil ways prevent the truth from being known. God punishes them because what can be known about God is plain to them, for God Himself made it plain. Ever since God created the world, His invincible qualities, both His internal power and His divine nature, have been clearly seen. They are perceived in the things that God has made. So those people have no excuse at all. They know God, but they do not give Him the honor that belongs to Him. None do they thank Him. Instead, their thoughts have become complete nonsense, and their empty minds are filled with darkness. They say they are wise, but they are fools. Instead of worshiping the immortal God, they worship images made to look like mortals, or birds, or animals, or reptiles. And so God has given those people over to do the filthy things their hearts desire. And they do shameful things with each other. They exchange the truth about God for a lie. They worship and serve what God has created instead of the Creator Himself, who is to be praised forever. Amen. Because they do this, God has given them over to shameful passions. Even the women pervert the natural use of their sex by unnatural acts. In the same way, the men give up natural sexual relations with women and burn with passion for each other. Men do shameful things with each other and with each other, and as a result, they bring upon themselves the punishment they deserve. They deserve for their wrongdoing, because those people refuse to keep in mind the true knowledge about God. He has given them over to corrupt minds so that they do the things that they should not do. They are filled with all kinds of wickedness, evil, greed, and vice. They are full of jealousy, murder, fighting, deceit, and malice. They gossip and speak evil of one another. They are hateful to God, insolent, proud, and boastful. They think of more ways to do evil. They disobey their parents. They have no conscience. They do not keep their promises, and they show no kindness or pity for others. They know that God's law says that people who live in this way deserve death. Yet not only do they continue to do these very things, but they even approve of others who do them. Amen. And this is really powerful. Oh my goodness gracious. So, I thank you all for joining us today. And, when we talk about abuse, abuse, what is abuse? Abuse is a situation in which a person is treated in a way that is harmful to them. It can include physical battery, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, financial abuse or exploitation, sexual abuse, and child or elder neglect or abandonment. And then, if you want to read more of this about abuse, you can go to caps.ucsc.edu resources abuse. So I'm gonna leave you guys here. We need, as parents, we need to like do better and protect our children. We also need to talk to our children about social media, because there are some information that are there that they might foreseen, they might be able to like come upon it. When they do watch things like that, they should feel comfortable and come and talk to us parents about it. Also, we need to also talk to our children in regards to if they are like, the parents are allowing them to be on social media, they are web of lies. There are adults acting to be teenagers, adolescent, and then entrapping youth and children with not emotional intelligence. And some of them target children who have disabilities. So if you do have a disability child, you need, as a parent, you need to protect them and making sure that they are not being exploited in a sexual manner or being molested, being raped. I mean, it's a serious and it's a broad discussion, but I just wanted to like come and talk about this. This is a start. Having conversation about it with Pastor Esther Arthur. And Pastor Esther Arthur, thank you so much for your time. We need to really teach our children self-defense. But the youngest one, they cannot be taught self-defense. We need to protect them. So if a mother or a father is unable to do that, I truly believe, my personal opinion, and seriously, like um, by law, those children should be removed from the care of both the mother, the father. The video that I watched is nowhere to be found. He has run away as a coward, as a weak person, as always, with like that evil mentality. Of course, he's gonna run away because he cannot stand to take responsibility for his disgusted, monstrous crime. So he had run away. He can't face his own demons. But he needs to be arrested and prosecuted as much as the law will allow. And the children needs to be removed from her care. She also needs to get help, because if she's willing to stay with a pedophile and subject her children into this type of traumatic event, then she should not have the privilege. She's not, and she did not take care of two innocent children. So I talk to you guys. You guys be safe with your family. Have a blessed, happy Sunday and a blessed weekend. So I see you guys. Bye. Thank you guys so much for coming to support Sister Aisha, Sister Yatobra, with the brother and credit the obete or no mu ye din, Munina Medamase, Muama share program, no invited friends in Namunya Medamase, brother. Isaac Kwajo also Medabasi. Mumu bi wɔ hɔ nom a I didn't see you guys in Tinosebia Uba my acknowledge you and patch or me and ye buapaye. Why? I love you guys all in the same. Take care of yourself. One love always. Bye.